Hi guys, today we will talk about this illustration. I will explain you what visual techniques I used, what type of composition, color palette, details. We'll talk about layers and work on layers and what type of opacity and brushes I use on these layers. So stay tuned. When you start illustration from the scratch, it's always better to use some references. From my illustrations was inspirations from Alphonse Mucha, some Pinterest pictures with a high contrast, and floral motifs, which is I try to implement in my illustration, and a little bit of butterflies and moths, which I wanted to insert in my illustration. So this is like general mood board for my illustration. That was what I thought before I start to draw. Let's talk about illustration. So I always start with the character. This pattern with the flowers and moths on the illustration is the most detailed part of the whole illustration, I would say. That's why I was very focused on this. And after that, this hair was bothering me, so I decided to cut it. It make my composition now more clear, and hair and coat make compositional framing around the face. So it's perfect highlight the point when I push viewers. On separate layer, I always checking if golden rule can be applied on my illustration. If yes, it's perfect. Yeah, if not, we always can improve it. So basically now let's talk about details on the coat. All the butterflies, moths, and flowers on the different layers. Here you can see green one and purple one on different frames, and we have flowers, and all of them has just normal opacity. They have normal style of the layer, but here you can check the flowers has different one. It's lightening and opacity is 50%, so it makes a little bit lighter and easier to hide them on the separate layer. So now let's talk about some moths takes very much attention on this illustration. So if you zoom in, it's all the same one. I just draw and copy paste them on the whole pattern and change the colors. But I worked on the details on the one of them. That's why it looks very, I would say, detailed, but it's still the one example of moth. You can freely flip them vertically or horizontally, or just rolling around with them and change their shapes, rotate, and etc. That's completely okay. It's up to you. My favorite visual tip it's come from compositional framing. So here with the pink, I just highlight you what I wanted to highlight with this framing. So here in code created this natural framing, which is push our viewers to check emotions of the character, their face, hands, the symbolic meaning, whole mood of this illustration. This is my brushes, nothing new. all the time I use the same one. It's only probably this one was new one. It calls baton, so you can see the texture of this brush. So I use this for coloring this green carpet. By the way, brushes, sometimes I bought, sometimes I download some free, and I just import them to the Procreate. So you can check on different websites or on the Etsy. Some of them you can buy directly from artists, some of them you can download from, I don't know, from different services. And about my favorite brushes, it's always pencil 6B, calligraphy, aerograph, baton, or some pencil 6B. I'm pretty in all my illustrations I use this. You can see, like, for example, these textured lines in the background was did by this pencil, and it's pretty easy to do. It has perfect texture I need. I use it for coat, coloring. You can see here it's the same 6B, it just has different opacity and different layer style. So here you can check, oops, sorry. It has color dodge style of the layer. Oh no, opacity is max. So yeah, you can check different, it can has different effects. It's pretty cool, but for that illustration I choose this one, color dodge. Yep, this is for the coat. Next one is hair. For example, we can talk about hair. It's pretty easy. I used calligraphy pencil just to fill up all the shape, because before I created the shape, I can show you with the pink color. For example, I'm creating a separate layer. I took my wherever brush, it can be aerograph, and I create a shape and can just insert color inside and it will be filled up. Yep. Perfect. And if you want to check different colors of the hair, you always just can put the whole color on the whole layer. But before, don't forget to create separate layer like that. Here you can check, for example, if I use yellow color on this separate layer, it should be clipping mask to previous layer. Don't forget that, it's very important. This mask help you to be attached to the previous layer. So basically like that you can change your colors like wherever you want and check different variations of it. Just be creative, and that's okay if you will choose different layers, different styles of layers. It will create different accident textures. It's perfect for illustration. So here I'm checking with the golden rule if everything works. Yeah, for me it was the main point, it's the face, so it's working. If you want to see more visual tips like that and my work in progress, don't forget to subscribe. And my favorite part, let's do some magic.